Welcome to Evolving Into Her. I'm Ashley Hope, and this is your weekly check-in to get out of your head, into your body, and back into alignment with the version of you who's already living the vision. So grab your favorite cup of tea, settle in, and let's get into the show. Hey girl, hey, and welcome back to Evolving Into Her. This is Ashley Hope, and this podcast is really a safe space. It's a sacred space where we can be honest and get real about our becoming and about our evolution and our expansion and what it actually takes to truly stay rooted, right? And present and aligned and grounded while everything around you is stretching and shifting and changing and sometimes even testing your growth. And so my hope is that today's episode unlocks something for you. And not because I'm saying anything brand new or something you've never heard before, but because I'm saying it in a way that your nervous system and your spirit can finally receive it and take heed to it. And we're going to be talking about how your brain can filter reality and why you might not be seeing the very things you've been calling in, the very things you've been praying for and setting intentions for. Because here's the thing, sometimes the opportunity is there, sis. The connection is available. The healing, the abundance, the aligned next step, it's already in your orbit. It's already in your space. It's already in your vortex, your frequency. You're just not recognizing it because your mind has been trained to filter it out. And we're going to change that today. So settle in, get comfy, grab a cup of tea or coffee if that's your thing, or even some wine, okay? And let's get into the show. Okay, sis, let's start with a simple truth. You are not experiencing the full picture. Right now, in this very moment, your brain is receiving millions of pieces of information. This is sound frequencies, temperature shifts, colors, body language, facial expression, smells, ideas, unspoken emotional cues. And yet your conscious mind can only hold on to a tiny fraction of that, about 40 bits per second. So that means your brain is constantly filtering. It has to, right? It's deciding what's relevant here. What do I show her? What do I keep hidden? Because it can't receive it all. And the system in charge of that is called the reticular activating system. That's a mouthful, so we're just going to call it your RAS. Now, stay with me, okay? I'm not going to get too sciencey. Basically, this is directly connected to how you evolve into her. This is directly connected to how you fully embody your becoming. So basically, your RAS, or your reticular activating system, it acts like a gatekeeper, right? It sits at your brainstem and acts as a bridge between your subconscious beliefs and your conscious awareness. So even if you say, okay, I want a better life. I want to grow my business. I want to call in aligned love or my soul family. If your subconscious programming is still saying, I'm not ready, or that's not safe, or women like me don't get that, your reticular activating system hears that. And guess what it starts filtering for? Evidence that confirms those old beliefs. So let's make this tangible. Say you've been thinking about doing something different with your body, right? Maybe Pilates. You've never tried it before, but suddenly it's in your awareness. You drive by a studio. Someone mentions it casually. You see a post on IG that says, you should try this, right? All of a sudden, it feels like Pilates is everywhere. That is not coincidence. That is your reticular activating system. It heard your internal signal and said, let me start pulling that into your awareness. And that's how this works. So girl, imagine the possibilities. Just imagine who you could be, what type of life you could live if you could start giving your RAS a new set of instructions, right? Instructions that match the woman you're becoming and the life that you desire and deserve. Here's a helpful way to think about it, right? Your RAS works just like a social media algorithm. Let's say you linger on a few healing posts, right? You like one or two quotes about alignment or something. You save a video on feminine energy. What happens next? Your feed starts serving you more of it. It says, oh, this is what she's into. Let me give her more of that. Your brain does the exact same thing. It's always asking, what does she focus on most? What emotions keep repeating? What does she keep talking about? What does she keep reinforcing through thoughts, through her feelings, through her environments, through her relationships, through her words? If you're constantly reinforcing fear or self-doubt, scarcity, unworthiness, even subtly, even unconsciously, that becomes your algorithm. And your brain starts surfacing proof that matches it. This is why you can be doing all the right things, whatever that means, quote unquote, right things. You could be setting intentions, buying the courses, repeating affirmations, but you can still feel stuck. And that's because your internal filters haven't changed yet. And those filters are what determine what you see, what you notice, and what you feel safe enough to receive. And so let's go a little deeper here with something called attention filtering. So stick with me. Your reticular activating system, or your RAS, is designed to pay attention to whatever you've been emotionally and mentally invested in. And when I say invested, I mean the stuff you think about consistently, right? The things you feel strongly about, whether these feelings are in joy or frustration, the patterns that really hold emotional weight. Your brain responds to significance, right? Not necessarily positivity. So if you're constantly worrying about whether you're behind in life, whether your body is good enough, whether you'll ever find love, whether your business will ever grow, your brain is flagging those things as important to you, as it should, right? And it starts surfacing information and people and even conversations that confirm those fears. And it's not because it's sabotaging you. It actually thinks it's protecting you. But when you start feeding your mind new signals with consistency and with emotional truth, with clarity, your brain says, okay, this is what matters now. This is what's important to her now. Let me show her more of this. So if you've been focused on inner peace, if you've been focused on confidence, on aligned money, on aligned opportunities, on nourishing relationships, on your health and wellness, on your expansion, your brain will begin surfacing experiences that reflect it. And friend, that is not magic. That is not woo. It's really just neurobiology meeting intention. And so you may ask yourself, well, okay, this is great to know. So how do I actually shift it? How do I actually change this? How do I begin to train my mind to filter for what aligns with her? And so the first step is get clear on what you want to see more of and release abstract ideas like abundance or growth, because what does that even mean, right? Be specific. You need specific sensory heart-based details. What do you want to experience when you wake up? What kind of women do you want in your circle? What kind of clients do you want to attract in? What pace do you want to live your life in? Your brain can't scan for what you haven't clearly named. So get clear and get specific. 2, allow it to feel like the truth. This is where embodiment comes in. Your brain responds powerfully to emotion. So when you're speaking your affirmations, when you're doing your visualizations, when you write the future you journal entries, don't just think them, right? Let your body actually feel into the experience. Even if it's just 20 seconds a day, that emotional imprint is what tells your RAS, okay, this matters to her. Let's show her more of this. And the next step is probably the hardest for a lot of people. This is where you have to be consistent, right? Consistency rewires your default settings. Repetition. Let it feel like brushing your teeth or taking a shower. This will be a daily signal that says, I'm choosing this. This is my new normal. This is who I am now. This is who I be now. This is what I want to experience now. And the last tip is to change what surrounds you. Your brain is always listening. Your subconscious is always recording. So the voices, the content, the conversations, the spaces you choose to be in, baby, they're training your RAS system too. If you're always around people who are stressed, who are playing small, who are doubting themselves, your brain will assume that's what's safe and normal for you. But if you place yourself in rooms and communities and conversations that reflect who you're becoming, your filters will also shift, and it'll feel more natural to see her, to act like her, to receive as her, to embody her. And here's what a lot of women don't realize. You do not have to build a new life from the ground up. You don't have to struggle and strive and manipulate and force the future to arrive. You simply need to remember what's already possible and just train your mind to start seeing it. Sometimes the peace you're craving isn't a million miles away, right? Sometimes it's in the margin. Sometimes it's in the stillness. Sometimes it's in the invitation you keep ignoring because your old identity doesn't recognize it as valid. The opportunities, the relationships, the clarity, they're often right in front of you, right in front of your face. But your filters are set to an old frequency. And that old frequency was built in a season of protection. But girl, this is a new season, okay? And this season is about expansion. This season is about your becoming. It's about your evolution. And this is where you shift the question from how do I fix it to how do I start training my brain to see what's already here? What's already available to me? What's already possible for me? Because the version of you who feels free, who feels supported, who feels confident, abundant, who feels aligned, who feels safe, she's not just a future version, right? She, many times, is just a perspective shift away. And so I want to land with this. When your filters change, your choices change and your experience changes. And you start to notice things you used to dismiss. You'll find that you feel braver in spaces that once made you shrink, right? You stop entertaining distractions that don't reflect her. You move with more clarity because you're finally seeing what was hidden in plain sight. This is embodiment, right? Not just knowing better, but living as someone who sees her life through a different lens. So if you want to evolve, don't just change what you're doing, right? Change what you're noticing and start training your brain to recognize alignment and abundance and ease and support. Because once you start seeing it, you can start choosing it. You can start expecting it. You can start building your life with it. And before we wrap, I want to invite you to feel this in your body and not just understand it with your conscious mind. Because it's one thing to shift your thoughts. It's another to let that shift live in your body. And that's where the real transformation, the real expansion, the real evolution happens. And this is your moment for her. So wherever you are, take a pause and just let this be your reset. If you're sitting, let your feet feel supported beneath you. If you're standing, root down into the earth. If you're lying down, let your body surrender and relax a little more. And I invite you to deeply inhale through your nose. Let your chest expand, let your belly expand, your rib cage expand. And hold it at the top. Now exhale slowly through your mouth and just let your shoulders drop. Allow yourself to let something go. You don't have to name it, just allow yourself to let go. And take one more breath, deep inhale. Hold at the top and exhale. And I invite you to bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. And you can repeat after me or just let it land within you. I'm open to seeing differently. I trust what's available to me. And I give myself permission to receive what aligns. And just let your body soften. Let this land. Allow yourself to receive it as truth. And just know you're retraining your mind every time you choose presence over panic. Every time you choose curiosity over control. Every time you choose alignment over autopilot. So give yourself grace. Sis, you're doing something radical here, right? You're choosing to see your life from a higher lens. And the more you do that, the more it becomes your new default. Friend, if this episode stirred something in you, please share it. Don't keep it to yourself. Send it to a woman who's evolving too. And until next time, I'm Ashley Hope, and you are evolving into her. I'm Ashley Hope, and you've been listening to Evolving into Her. Thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you for choosing her, for choosing yourself. And until next time, stay in devotion to your becoming.